Optimizing my routine around my business was probably one of the most difficult things that I had to do as an entrepreneur. You know, coming into this game, coming into this life, you would assume and you would think and you hear all of these stuff on social media, on YouTube, etc., that you have to time and schedule every single hour of your day. You have to constantly be doing something productive, constantly being active, constantly doing something. And that's literally the one thing that ruins your business because you're so focused on what you have to do in the future of your day and what you have planned. You're so focused on every little detail of being late or being over schedule or being too early for something, or you just too focused on so many things, and it ruins the whole point of your business because you're not focused on it at all. You're focused on your reading, you're focused on your on so much other stuff, keeping up your personal brand, doing so many things, but you're not actually focused on your business. And that's that's kind of the whole reason why you got into this. You're literally trying to make money, right? And if you're not actually spending time doing the thing that makes you money, you're never going to get anywhere, like at all. You're literally not going to get anywhere. And the funny thing is, when you're actually doing the one thing that will help you become successful, you're not even focused on it. You're just doing it because you like know you have to, you kind of know you need to, so you're doing it. But then you're like tired from everything previously, and you're not focused, your mind's not there, and you're like, oh, I have to do this, and then your mindset is just in the wrong place. It's all fucked. It's all fucked. And that's what happened with me. That's literally what happened with me. I literally had a whole schedule dedicated for every minute of my day, every hour, every half an hour, every minute of my day was scheduled from the moment I wake up to the moment I fell asleep. And the funny thing is, I probably only followed this schedule once. One time. That's it. I only followed this schedule literally once. Wasted how many days, how many hours, just because I couldn't stay focused. I was too lazy. I was too burnt out. I couldn't do it. There was so much, too much to handle because what I was focusing on wasn't what I needed to do in the future, or it wasn't what I was aspiring to be, or aspiring to accomplish, and aspiring to achieve. So I made a video explaining how self improvement or the self improvement schedule ruins your business, it scams you out of success. And in that video, I talked about how to just reorder the schedule that you already have to kind of be around your business rather than trying to fit your business into a schedule. But in this video is purely about optimizing a routine specifically for your business. Now let's get into it. What have I been talking about this whole time? Focus. The most important thing is focus, and you need to be focused on your business in order to accomplish anything, to achieve anything, and go anywhere, whether it's in life, whether it's with your money, whether it's with followers, etc., subscribers, it doesn't matter. Anything, you need to be focused on this one thing. You need to be focused on this business. That's the main priority. So that's why we're going to section everything into work blocks. Now, if you don't know what work blocks are, that's literally it's taking just an hour of your day, focus purely entirely on business, no distractions, no nothing, just purely focused on your business. Put down your phone, put it in another room, turn off your notifications, no calls, no nothing. If you have a second phone, this would be advised because then you can have this specific to people if they actually need to contact you. If there actually is something important, they can contact you. But on this phone, you have no social media, you have no games, you have no nothing. You can't do anything on this phone apart from communicate. Now, in this work block, spend an hour just purely focused on your business, purely focused on your work. And you would do this by previously the previous night before you go to bed, you plan out each work block. You plan out, okay, in the first work block, I need to get clients. In the second work block, I need to focus on building up my personal brand. In the third work block, I need to, etc., right? And once you've done that and you've planned it out, you've just planned out what you do in each work block, not necessarily when you do each work block, not necessarily how you do the work blocks, just what the work blocks are. Now, when you wake up, work out, eat breakfast, do your thing, you're ready to work, bang, set an hour dedicated to work, just like that. No, no more, no less. No more, no less. Because the thing is, our human brains can only take in so much information at a time. So if you're studying or if you're doing your business or whatever, after an hour, you're just kind of stuffing your brain with information and you're just overloading it, and it's not actually taking anything in because it hasn't even processed what's already been put in. It hasn't even processed the hour of work that you've done, and you're still trying to shove it with information. So once you do the hour, that's why it's an hour. Once you do the hour, take a rest. Take a half an hour rest. Just don't do anything. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. Just don't do anything. Just relax. Just chillax. And that's probably the second most important thing in this whole routine, in this whole business optimization. Rest. Give your brain time to process, to understand. Because nowadays it's all about doing something. It's all about spending your time doing something. Don't put resting and laziness together, because that's what a lot of people do. They say, oh, if you're resting, you're being lazy. No. Sitting down, watching 2-hour documentaries or watching 10 hours of YouTube, whatever you're doing that isn't productive, but you're taking in information, that's lazy. Because everything we do, we take in information. We read a book, we're taking in information. We're watching a video, we're taking information. We're eating, we're taking information. Not necessarily information, but your brain is occupied with doing something. Your brain is occupied with controlling your digestive system, etc. Right? Anything that you do, you're technically taking in information. So you need to spend a dedicated time for your brain to process that information instead of carrying on shoving everything in. That's why, as you probably know, when you're in the shower, you get the best ideas. When you're taking a dump, you get the best ideas. Why? Because you're resting. Your brain is resting and it's taken in everything and it's processed everything. That's why after 2 weeks of after a roast battle, you finally come up with a good response. Because your brain has finally processed that information after 2 weeks, because you're constantly shoving more in, constantly. And it's only after 2 weeks that you've actually come up with a good response. So you need to optimize your routine to be able to work on your business, learn, and then let your brain process that information. It's the same with when you work out, when you're training, when you're doing a pull up or you're doing a chin up, whatever you're doing, right? Whatever you're doing, it's not the actual movement that makes you stronger. It's not you doing a bicep curl that makes you stronger. It's not you doing a muscle up that makes you stronger. It's the resting period. It's the time where you're resting, the time where you're sleeping. It's all of that part. That's when your muscles are actually growing. That's when your muscles they're actually growing and they're repairing themselves and they're rebuilding themselves. It's not the actual process. All that does is tear your muscles. It tears the fibers. But when you rest and your body processes that and it repairs it, that's when it repairs, it builds over it and becomes bigger and stronger, etc. And your brain is literally a muscle. Your brain is a muscle. And when you put in that many information, you're tearing, not actually, but figure of speech, you're tearing the fibers. And when you work, you're tearing the fibers. And it's in that resting period that your brain repairs it and processes everything. So purely focus on an hour of work, maximize the amount of knowledge and information you can put into your brain, and then rest. Half an hour, 15 minutes, rest. Let your brain process everything. Process everything. Let it rest. Let it process. Then can do something else, whatever. Do a little activity. Go on a walk. Do something, just do something. Then you can come back. Second work block. And it's in those work blocks, because you have no distractions, because everything's already processed. You're starting off brand new. You're starting off already energized. You're already getting into it. Bang. You can do it flat out, 1 hour. Bang. Time goes just like that. Instead of you being bored when you're working, and instead of you just you're just kind of clouds or foggy and you don't know what you're doing. This will help you. This routine, if you implement it properly, if you plan out the work blocks that you're going to have, and you actually rest and process the information, you're most likely going to 10x the amount of productivity that you have for the past month. You're going to do so much more for your business, so much more with your time. Because it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality, right? Instead of spending 10 hours on business, but you're only actually focused for 30 minutes, you could spend 1 hour, but you're focused that whole way through. It's about the quality of the time that you're focused instead of the quantity of the time you actually spend on your work. And I hope this video helped you. I hope you're able to step back from this and actually implement it. And it actually helps you make more money, get more clients, do more work. Now, wrapping up this video, last thing that I have to say, last thing I will always say, don't overthink this situation. Don't overthink the process of work blocks and all of this. It's nothing to overthink. Just whenever you're going to work, set an hour, do your work for an hour, no distractions. After that rest, you can get back into it later. Don't overthink anything. Just trust your intuition and do your own thing. Peace.